Okay, thank you so much for making the effort to come into this. Let's start the GBE. My name is Ricardo Ernst. I'm a professor at the McDonough School of Business. I have been here for a long, long time. This is probably my year number 26, so I have been here for many years, and this is probably the most exciting thing that I have done in all the years that I have been at the McDonough School of Business. I am completely and absolutely convinced that what makes our MBA different than any other MBA in the world is what you guys are starting today, is what we call the Global Business Experience. This is an amazing opportunity, it's an amazing thing that we have been doing for many years, and now is your chance. Now you are the ones that are going to be doing it. It is a great issue, and it's a great experience where the McDonough School of Business believes deeply that our place in the world is to become the premier destination for global business education. Now, for us to become the premier destination for global business education, we strongly believe that it should not be done only by faculty members lecturing and telling you how to do it and then our experience, and just having faculty members with an accent. So as what was so funny? Are you implying that I have an accent? Oh, you're not implying, you're saying. As I told my class this morning, as you can tell from my accent, unfortunately, I'm not from New York. I'm not even from Miami, even though that could have been a lucky guess. I am from sunny Venezuela, and it's days like today that you wonder what in the freaking world I'm doing here. But let's forget about that part. However, I'm Venezuelan by accident. Yeah, I know. I'm Venezuelan by accident because my last name is Ernst. Do you think that's a typical Venezuelan last name? Is it Chavez, Ernst, same thing? No, not even close. So my mother is from Poland, and my father is from Austria. Do I look Austrian to you? No, now I'm getting upset. What do you mean? I look like what to you? I look like Latin American to you? Are you profiling me? Is that what you're doing? Oh, you're profiling me. So let me ask you this naive question. If I'm sitting in a corner just like this, no talking, no moving the hands, not even articulating, so you get me with the accent, do I look Austrian to you? No? But wait a minute, genetically speaking, do we agree that I'm European? Yes? So why I don't look European to you? What? What did you say? What did you say? 210. 210. Austrians are not tan, and the Polish are not tan. Anyway, so I am the living proof of the environment makes an impact on you. Is that what you're saying? Either that or any other explanations? What is so funny? Don't think about my mother that way, okay? I have a brother, so I would appreciate some level of respect. I really don't care that much, but my brother, he'll be really offended that you don't even know him, are thinking that. Anyway, we are deviating. The fact of the matter is that I have been fortunate enough to not only being born in another place, but having lived in many places, and I strongly believe that the best way to get to know other places is by being there. So at the McDonough School of Business, we really want to share that enthusiasm with you. And that's what we have been doing for many, many years. And actually, the only way to do that is through your own eyes. And that's why the way we want to do it is through the eyes of the students, that's also known as you, under the leadership of faculty, and validated by some people that actually do business on a day-to-day basis. So we have been pushing this so strongly that that's why we created this thing, that because business has no borders, and then that we believe in that, and that's where you're going to be a very important part of this idea. So we created a couple of months ago what is called the Global Business Initiative that was embraced deeply by the dean and by everybody at the school. So how can we actually make ourselves to be the premier destination or institution for global business education? And that's why we would like this, that you're starting today, to be like the footprint of what our MBA is all about. How can we actually take people like you to do projects around the world? Think about it. It's really interesting that people like you will be in a position to solve consulting problems around the world. And that's not the faculty doing, that's you doing. You're going to be the first actors in all these things that I want to show and describe for you what is it that we're going to be doing. So this thing started in 1995, and this is not only for the full-time MBAs that we are doing this. We have been doing this for the full-time MBAs, but it started with EMBA, the Executive MBA. As you know, we have many graduate programs here. So with the EMBAs, we started in 1995, and we started going to all those locations. So we started going to Maastricht, Hong Kong, Mexico City, Monterrey, Merida, Delhi, Mumbai, and the other one in India. So these are the locations where we started from 1995 to the year 2000. And then I'll tell you what is it that we do in these projects. Then we were being so successful that in the year 2000, we decided to incorporate that to the full-time MBAs, to you. So from the year 2000 to 2007, we increased the number of cities. So every time you're trying to look for an exciting city, something that might increase or enlarge your own knowledge. How can you really become, globalization is here to stay, and we are living in a world that is completely and absolutely global, so just to make that differentiation makes no sense. So how can you guys be prepared to actually deal with these type of problems? So from the year 2000, 2007, we went from the MBA, including also the MBAs full-time, and then from the year 2007, 2013, we included also the evening program MBAs, as well as the Executive Masters in Leadership. So as you can see, we are really committed to this. And like many other schools, they have an idea, how can we be the premier institution about this, that, and the other. In our case, it's the other way around. We have been doing this for the last 15 years. And what we want to do now is to leverage it even more. And that's why we are so excited to make it like just a one big thing for all the MBAs, and that's what we're sharing with you. Now, let me tell you statistics which we are very proud of. To date, we have sent around the world over 4,000 students to over 12 countries, to over 20 cities, and to date, we have done over 730 projects. Consulting projects. We have solved specific problems around the world, and to date, it has been 730 of those. And you guys, we're going to be dealing with 51 new projects. So that's what we're going to be introducing to you. But in our idea of doing this, this is the statistics today. This is you, 6 countries, 51 projects. The evening program, 3 countries, 25 projects. EMBA, 1 country, 10. And this is 2013, is 11 countries, 94 projects. So think about it. The McDonough School of Business is generating an average of 100 projects per year. 100 consulting projects all over the world. So you tell me what other schools around the world are doing something like this. Something where you are the main players. There are many schools copying what we want to do, and I'm not doing this as a matter of comparison. I'm just saying so you can be excited to be part of something that has been our most significant footprint and is something where you're going to be part of, which starts now. It starts actually today. So you all, I assume you all got a copy of the syllabus, which I'm planning to go over in some level of detail so you see what you're doing. The most important thing of this GBE, the Global Business Experience, is clearly the project. But around the project, we really would like for you to have a global business education that goes beyond just the project. So the project is at the core. That's something where you will deliver specific results. But in addition to that, we want to complement your global business education with other things. And that's the main objective of Mod 2. Then you have Mod 3, and then you have Mod 4. All of that being part of one class called the GBE, that for practical purposes is 4.5 credits in your grading scheme. So let's talk a little bit about Mod 2, which is what we're starting today. Mod 2 is what we call the Introduction to Projects and Global Issues. And these are the objectives of this module. We have basically 2 objectives. Introduce you through topic experts. We're going to be bringing the experts in the field, like to share with you their experiences, to a select set of important subjects that I'm going to go over that in a second, in the world of global business. And second, we would like you to start working on your projects. One of the issues that we have learned over time, and we are always improving on our projects, we want to see how can we improve from one year to the next. And one of the things that we learned from the past is that in the past we were giving the projects a little bit later. This year we decided let's give them earlier so you can start working. And that's the other objective of Mod 2, is to assign to you, as early as we can, who are going to be the faculty leaders that will guide you through the process. So these are the two main objectives of Mod 2. Now, in Mod 2, you have lecture series. Lecture series are mandatory, but let me tell you, that's me talking. I don't want you to think of it as mandatory, you have to go. I really would like you to feel excited because the content, and that's where we have put some time assembling it, the content is so exciting that you're going to feel bad if you don't come. That's the main idea. I know it sounds like, what is he selling now? I'm not selling, I'm telling you. I'm really genuinely excited about this. You will see when I tell you who's going to be talking. Like Tuesday, November the 7th, you have me. So what am I going to say? But more important than that is, look what we have on Thursday. On Thursday, how many of you, let me ask you a question just to get an idea. How many of you have heard of the ranking Ease of Doing Business? Yeah, you can indicate like this. If you have, go like this. If you haven't, then stay like this. If you don't care, just go like this. So, how many of you have heard of the Ease of Doing Business? Thank you. Well, we're going to have here on Thursday one of the founders of the Ease of Doing Business. He's going to come here, and you're going to have some kind of, he's already sharing with us. You know that the latest report came out last week. He's going to share with you how do they go about it. Why do we do it like this? Because, you know, regardless of the country or the destination that you will end up going, it'll be great to hear what institutions like the World Bank are using to calibrate and rank countries. And that is a ranking that many people use. So we thought it would be fantastic to have that guy that is the founder of this, sharing with you the experience. And then I told him what are the countries where you guys are going, so he might have some specific or special comments regarding to your country. So isn't that interesting? How many of you like the idea? Thank you. Those of you that are not raising the hand, it says you're sleeping already, or what is your problem? Anyway, so that is Thursday. Now, let me tell you on Tuesday, because you're going to be doing consulting, basically what you're doing in each one of these projects is the equivalent of a consulting project. So we would like to share with you what are some of the issues which are like the common denominator of good consulting projects. So we're going to have Professor Dugan, who is an expert in the topic, that I will introduce formally in a second. She's going to be the leader of one of the sections, but she will actually share with you what should be the protocol, how do you go about doing consulting projects, given that most of you are going to be working on these 51 projects. So far, so good? Then, on Thursday, November the 14th, we're going to have Fabrizio Freda. Have you heard of a company called Stellauder? Yes, well, I thought so. Otherwise, where have you been hiding? But in any event, seriously speaking, this is the CEO of the company, and he's going to be sharing with you how global business is not a different entity in their thinking, but how global business is the name of the game for a company like Stellauder. It's a marketing company that you all know very well, and he will be here sharing with you. In all of these sessions, we are leaving some time. I talk to each one of the speakers so you can ask questions. But it's interesting learning how, that's what I call the part of validation. How do you validate that what we're doing makes sense? Well, by having the likes of Fabrizio Freda, you will see how all that works. And then finally, November 19th, we have another session which is using technology for global trade. When you are doing international business, then how do you go about moving products around the world? Well, what they're going to be doing with us, they're going to be sharing with us a software where you will see, when you want to get to the trade 101, if I want to move a product from here to there, what are the legal issues and so on. And all of you are going to get like access to the software. We got a license for you for the duration of the GBE, so you can see how it works. If you end up working on this or not, at least it's a good opportunity for you to deal with what the experts are using when they are dealing with projects related to moving products. So those are the sessions that we have under the heading of lecture series. So in terms of excitement from 1 to 10, where are you guys? I mean, if you jump all at once, you see, I am feeling depressed. You want me to start crying here? So can you indicate in any possible way how exciting this is? You think that to put this together is just like, thank you. All right, now let's come to the painful part of Mod 2. now that you're so excited and pumped. In Mod 2, you have, obviously, in addition to coming to all of these sessions, which are mandatory, you will have to have a deliverable. The deliverable is a 7 to 10 page paper, and these are the dates that if you read your syllabus carefully, you will know the dates, which I strongly suggest you to make a note, because those dates are, important dates for you to remember. But you will write a paper depending on your particular industry. The details will be introduced later. Let me just tell you something that I forgot to mention before. In addition to the sessions where you are all going to be here, you will know next week what your projects are and who are the faculty leaders. So every faculty leader will also organize. In addition to these sessions, they will organize sessions with their own group, because we would like to get going the connection and the communication with the client. I mean, it's important to start sending CVs to the client. It's important to finalize the contract. Remember, we're doing a consulting project, so in a way, we need to make sure that we calibrate expectations. What is the expectation that they have from the project, and then do you feel comfortable delivering what they want? So that is an important component that is also going to be happening during Mod 2. Now, each faculty leader, at the discretion of the faculty leader, will decide when they will meet with the groups. And that's when the ball will start rolling. But in the process of getting the ball rolling, we would like you to do like some analysis of the industry. You see, it's the idea to enlarge your knowledge a little bit beyond just the company you're dealing with. And all that within the scope of the global business. So that is what we do for Mod 2. And then that is the paper that is due December 17, 7 to 10 pages, including this type of thing, is in the syllabus. I'm just giving you like an overall view of what the idea of Mod 2 is all about. So far, so good? All right. Then we come, before I continue to Mod 3, let me just introduce to you the faculty leaders that are going to be guiding your work. And, they're helping us in this venture. We have Professor Susan Dugan. She will be doing Lima in addition to doing the session on consulting projects. The next one is me. I will be taking you to Barcelona. Then we have Becky Heino. She will be taking some of you to Johannesburg. Then we have Catherine Langlois. She'll be taking you to India, to Mumbai. And then we also have Michael Ryan. He's taking you to Shanghai. And last but not least, Jean-Francois Sesnek, that is going to be taking you to Abu Dhabi. Now, it'll be completely and absolutely bad of me if I were not to recognize publicly the person that has been instrumental to the implementation of all the GBEs. So I would really very much appreciate if you help me thanking Val, that she has been the person responsible for all the things. And Catherine, that you all know very well, has also been instrumental. So please, please, please help me thanking them. Because they are the ones. I mean, I am the one doing the talking, but they are the ones doing the doing. So it's very important to give them the recognition. But these are the faculty leaders. So you're going to be working with them on a regular basis, guiding how is the project going, in addition to enlarging your knowledge on the specific destination that you chose. So that's Mod 3. Mod 3 is at the core of what we do. Mod 3 is when you're really working on these projects. You're spending the time communicating with the customer and then client, getting data, using all these great frameworks that you have learned through your education, during your MBA education, and put that to actually answer the specific question. So you are going to have on a regular basis communication with the client and use the faculty member to actually guide you. But in addition to that, you also have all the things that we're going to be doing during that semester. So for example, if we're going to the Barcelona residency, we will bring people from Spain, we're going to bring people from the Spanish embassy, we're going to bring CEOs of Spanish companies, so you get a flavor for what is to do global business in Spain. Similar things will be happening in all the other sections, but each section, each faculty leader because every country is different, will be leading that according to the specific requirements of each country. Is that making sense? So far, so good? So that is what we do in Mod 3. These are like the objectives. Increase your understanding of business in a foreign setting. Increase your ability to conduct international business. So that's why we are so proud that, you are the ones capable of solving a problem in an international global company. Improve your problem-solving ability. How can you actually, after doing all these cases, well, you're going to be doing a real case. And the real case is a company waiting for your answers. And then I will describe in a second how do we go about selecting these projects. Deepen your understanding of international business in specific country situations. And finally, to provide an opportunity for you to integrate and apply the knowledge. So it's a great, exciting opportunity. Let me see. You want to validate, not in the form of a grade to an exam that you answer the right question, but in the eyes of a client, are you able to make them feel good about what you have done? Is that making sense? So these projects are really serious, and then we are excited about how you're going to be doing. So what are the deliverables for Module 3? Well, you have what we call the 90% presentation, which is, your project has to be basically done at the 90% level before you go to country. We're going to be working here for 6 weeks, and then the 7th week, we go to your destination, and then at your destination, it's more than a tourism type of a trip. It's more a trip where you're going to get the opportunity of seeing your client for the first time. You're going to be talking to them. We're going to allocate time for you to actually work with them. See them, finally. Oh, you are Pedrito. Yeah, I'm Pedrito. Who are you? So, that is the way it's going to go when we go to the final destination. Oh, I thought you were different. I mean, your picture in Skype is different. Was that when you were 15? So all that is going to be the type of stuff that you saw when you go there. What a surprise. Anyway, so that happens there, but before we go, we need to make sure that you guys are ready to go. So the faculty leaders here will be checking with you how is that presentation, and then the final paper is due when you come back. So after you come back, after you having the chance or the opportunity to validate locally some of the things that probably you didn't finish before going, and after talking to them, then you finish the paper, and that's what happens. So these are the dates. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but you will have that in the syllabus. Lima, Barcelona, Johannesburg, Mumbai, and Shanghai. The check-in is March 1st. Check-out is March the 8th. And then Abu Dhabi, you go a little bit earlier. In case you're wondering, Abu Dhabi is farther, and then you have all the issues involved there. But in any event, these are the dates. I'm just putting there so you know what the issues are. Now, that's Mod 3. By now, think of where you are. In terms of global business education, by now, you are an expert in global business. You have heard how Estelle Lauder does it, ease of doing business. Professor Dugan explained to you how to do like a consulting. You know what are the tools for doing all this trade. So you have a big picture. And then we are narrowing all this knowledge into a country, into a company within a country. So far, so good? But that's incomplete. Because let's say that you end up going to Barcelona in retail management. When you come back, you know a little bit more about how to do retail management in Barcelona. But think about it. Your classmates, some of your classmates are doing retail management in India, and some of your classmates are doing retail management in China, and some of your classmates are doing retail management in Abu Dhabi. So your classmates know retail management in all these destinations. You with me? And you are the expert in Spain. So what we're going to do in Mod 4, and that's why we are so excited about Mod 4, we're going to take you all on retail management. And those that went to Barcelona are going to be in a section with those that went to India, and those that went to China, those that went to Abu Dhabi, under the leadership of a faculty member in marketing that knows retail management. And the outcome of that is how and what did you learn about Barcelona that is different than what they did in India, in China, and so on. You follow? So through the eyes of your classmates, we are actually managing all that knowledge. So you will be the one sharing all that. We have 4 sessions during Mod 4 where the basic objective is for you to learn what were your classmates doing. If I went to Barcelona, what were they also doing in India and China and so on. And then you will write a paper that consolidates all that. Now think about it over time. Over time, we would like the McDonough School of Business to be the engine producing cases that are based on real data on global business. You follow? You tell me what other community college that you know, those are in Boston or in Philadelphia, are capable of doing when it gets to this type of knowledge. So that's why we are so excited, because we strongly believe, deeply believe, that after 15 years with people like you, and based on the quality of projects that we have seen today, under the right leadership, we can produce the type of stuff that will actually help us to position ourselves where we belong, at the top. Make sense? Are you excited yet? But you don't indicate it in any possible way. So that is mode 4. We call those, by the way, we call those clusters of knowledge. Cluster knowledge is the same way I said retail management. We're going to have something supply chain management. We're going to have some market entry. We're going to have strategy. We're working now with the faculty leaders as to what should be the right clusters of knowledge. So when you come back, after you finish with your reports, we're going to regroup you into these 4 sessions. And then these 4 sessions is basically you learning about your classmates' projects. And then from there, we take it to this. But this is going to be known as the clusters of knowledge. And then we're going to actually put that with the other faculty members so they can be interested in how do we do that kind of stuff for their own research and so on. Can you imagine the amount of data? Just you guys, you're doing 51 projects. 51 projects in 6 countries. So the others, we have like 100 projects per year. So this is what we do in this module. Allow students to enlarge their learning through sharing particular aspects of the learning in what we call the clusters. And then this is the work you're going to be doing, writing at the end a paper that summarizes the whole thing. Now, this is one class. GBE is one class that is divided, is delivered in 3 modules. Therefore, one of the concerns that some of you have is the grading. Well, the grading, this is the breakdown of the grading. There is not one grade for mode 2, one grade for mode 3, or one grade for mode 4. It's one grade for the entire GBE experience. And this is briefly the way we break it down. So this is the industry report execution. That's what you did in mode 2. And then you have all the other stuff is basically dealing with the experience while you are traveling, plus the project. And then finally, you have the cluster learning paper worth 20%. So you see, you have one grade for the entire GBE. It's just that it's a class delivered in 3 modules. So just that the idea to break it down like this is actually for you to see how we break it down. These are the projects for 2013. And then Catherine is going to describe later how is it that you guys are going to choose what projects you want to be working on. We have 51 projects, 6 countries. Let me tell you a little bit about the projects. These projects are no accidents. Faculty members go to the destination. If I need to go to Barcelona, I go to Barcelona, and then I work with each one of the companies that are going to be doing this. It's going to be participating with us. So this is a serious project. It's a serious because the managers are taking their time to work with you. You don't represent yourselves. You're representing the McDonough School of Business. So it's extremely important, and you should think of it as a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity where you're going to be learning about a particular industry or particular company in detail with real data. So when you go about choosing where is it that you're going to go, think of it like, wow, what a great opportunity where I can learn about it. Think that this is an opportunity for sometimes what happens is that these companies hire you. If you do a superb job, I mean, why not? It's an opportunity for them to hire you. But in addition, imagine what kind of a story it makes when you're looking for a job and then suddenly you drop the line, well, yeah, when I was in Johannesburg, you mean in Johannesburg, Pennsylvania? No, Johannesburg, South Africa. Oh, seriously speaking, when I was working with a company in Abu Dhabi, is that like a new restaurant on M Street? No, it's so I'm telling you, this is extremely relevant in the sense of how seriously these projects have been chosen, how much time each faculty member has put into the selection of the projects that are self-contained with the capability of you being able to address an issue at a distance. So, how do you address a problem at a distance, dealing with them at a distance, but what we want to convey to you is the level of seriousness that goes beyond and with each one of the projects. So every faculty member has put over 300 hours just assembling this set of projects for you so you have a better chance or a better set of options But, you know, when you look at the companies, be smart about it. Like, you know, what am I going to learn out of it? How is that going to add? And also try to match it with your capabilities. What can I bring to the project that actually will be adding value? Make sense? So these are the 51 projects. You have a spreadsheet like this, where in each one of these projects, we are basically defining what is the industry briefly, what is the project function, and then some notes on it. I mean, I guess, have you seen this before? That's what I thought. I'm checking to see if you check the information. But in any event, so that is what we have done. That is the material. We are very excited about this. Let me tell you other resources that you're going to have available. We have 2 other resources available for you. One resource is the library. We put for you at the library at this page, that this is the web page that you have also in the syllabus. And this is here you see, depending on the destinations, what are the supporting material. How can you actually have access to the library? So we work with the library to actually facilitate for you what kind of material you can have available. So you see, this is how can we help you to do a great job. That's how committed we are with this kind of stuff. And then the last thing I want to mention is that we are so committed to this that we also have a deal with Rosetta Stone. Have you heard of the company? So those of you that want to go to Barcelona and have no Spanish, or the only Spanish you have is to read the menu of the restaurant poorly, now you are going to get a license to Rosetta Stone. Every joke aside, we wanted to show the level of commitment that we have at the McDonough School of Business to make this the premier destination for global business education. And the only way we can do that is by doing it through you, through your eyes. And then if one way that we can help you to do that is with helping you with the language, well, that's what we did with the Rosetta Stone, and we got licenses for you. So we got licenses. The only language where we did not get a license, because we assume that some of you know the language, is English. So those of you that are going to India, we apologize. In India, they speak English. But seriously speaking, I mean, for most of the countries, I think that the licenses we have are in Spanish and Mandarin are the licenses that you have for the Rosetta Stone. So the only idea of this is to show you the level of commitment that we have and how excited we are, because at the end of the day, we strongly believe that business has no borders. So we hope that you are as excited as we are about this. Are you excited as we are? Now, I'm going to let Catherine is going to describe for you in detail how do we go about the selection process. Like you thinking about the projects and how do you go about, you know, you can imagine the level of logistics to get 250 of you into 6 countries, 51 projects, so it has some kind of a logistics involved. So, PJ, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Just going to do some real quick housekeeping. We did talk about bringing your iClickers for today, so if you want to get those out, we're going to take attendance. If you don't have your iClicker, you can email me today. I'm here till 8:30 tonight, so if I get it before then, I'll put you down as well.
You don't need your little. You don't need to pull that up.
Yeah, they can do their thing well.
Okay.
We'll let it run for a while.
Oh, is that everybody checking in?
Just want to see what they're doing.
Oh, they can click anything.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go about 20 more seconds, then we'll shut it down. Okay, got everybody? Oh, they can email me.
Just coming in. All right. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Catherine Gunter. I'm just going to talk for a couple minutes and tell you guys how you're going to give us your project selection information today and tomorrow. All right, nice this. Oh, because it's. I know. No. I don't need this. I can use that. I'll just use the arrows. That's okay. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, now it works.
Okay. So this is the timeline. Today at about 2 o'clock, you're going to get an email letting you know that the survey is open. It is a unique email addressed to each of you, so please use your own. Don't use one from a friend's computer because it's going to be a unique link for you so that we know who you are. I'll show you the survey and you'll see how it recognizes you. You'll have this afternoon and evening and all day tomorrow to enter your project selection information, and we will close the survey at 8 a.m. on Thursday. And this is a hard deadline. It's really important that you get this information in today and tomorrow. We will begin processing the results immediately, so if you miss that 8 a.m. deadline, you're really going to miss the boat. We'll work with students after the fact to try and place you on a team based on what's left, but it's going to be from what's left. So please go in there today and tomorrow and complete the survey. We will have a little time on Monday to do a second round if it's necessary. Last year we didn't need to run a second round because we were able to place basically everybody. But if we do need a second round, we'll do that on Monday. And by close of business on Monday, we'll let all of you know what teams you're on. So when you come back, not for the Thursday session, but on Tuesday session where Professor Dugan's going to be talking about consulting, you'll have your consulting teams. Okay, so project selection. The goal of this process is to match you with a project that's going to be meaningful to you academically, going to be meaningful to you in terms of your career goals, but also to put together teams that are going to represent the McDonough School of Business to the best that we can. You're each going to rank 6 projects. So out of that group of 51, you need to choose 6. And you'll need to give us a rank order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't choose more than that. You can't choose less than that. You'll also have a single open-ended question where you'll be invited to give us any additional information that might help us in the team selection process. This is optional. It's also short. You can't, write us an essay, but you do have a few lines. So if you have some really particularly relevant career history or skill set, or a really particularly relevant career interest for the future, you can provide us with that information there. And finally, as Professor Ernst mentioned this briefly, but I just want to say this again, in terms of selecting your project, I hope that you've already read about all these amazing projects because there's quite a lot of information about all of them. But do take the time to consider all of them. Consider all of them based on industry, based on functional area. As Professor Ernst also mentioned, we really want you to think about your fit on the team. Are you going to have the skill sets to make this project successful? Is this going to be a team on which you're going to shine? And also consider the type of company. Some of these companies are big, easily recognizable companies that are going to look great on your resume. But some of the others that you may never have heard of are also going to be amazing projects. And you may have, at a smaller company, a really tremendous level of access to the people that you're going to be working for. So there are really advantages to every type of project. So we really want you to consider all of them. When you receive the survey, like I said, use the specific link that is emailed to you. If you delete the message and you need a new one, let us know. Don't just borrow one from a friend because it won't work. We suggest that you can figure out your top 6 before you enter the survey. The survey will allow you to return. You can, if you're not ready to finish it, you can leave and you can come back, and that's fine using the same link. But it's helpful if you go in knowing what they are so you can just set them up. You'll see a list. Actually, the first page will provide you with your information. So it will say, this survey link was sent to Catherine Gunter at my email address. If that's not you, don't finish the survey because you're filling out someone else's. So if it's your information, you proceed to the next page, and you'll see a list of all 51 projects. It's a very simple survey. You drag and drop them into your ranking box, and then you can sort them according to your preferences. You can drag them up and down within the box. Once you're done, click Submit. You'll go to the next page. There'll be that optional question where you can give us some information if you'd like, and then you're all set. I'll show you the survey in a moment so you can see it. Just a couple of other quick considerations. International students are encouraged to choose projects in countries other than your home country. This is not something that we enforce in any way, but we really strongly encourage you to do this. The whole point of this project is to broaden your experience with global business, to potentially travel places you haven't before, work with companies that you otherwise wouldn't. So we really encourage you to look beyond your home country. There's no strategy to this. We anticipate that this is something that you're concerned about. You want to make sure you get the project you really want. The only way for you to get the project you really want is to tell us what that project is. So just rank the top 6 projects that you're most interested in. And finally, we hope that this just sort of lowers everyone's anxiety level about this. We have been very successful with project placement. Last year, we placed almost 90% of students in their top 3. So you guys really have such a diverse array of interests and skills, as you already know. And so we anticipate being able to place everybody in projects that you'll be very excited about. Before I show you the survey, I just want to speak to you for a minute about sort of the nuts and bolts of registration so you know what to expect here. Right now in your schedule, you are in a placeholder course, a course there that holds the sort of times and days of global, and that is BADM 640. So I'm sure you've all seen that on your schedule. So that's just a placeholder. Next week, after you've been assigned to your project teams on Monday, probably on Tuesday, you will be removed from that placeholder course and placed into your actual global section. So your actual global section is BADM 650, and those will be sections divided by your assigned faculty member and country. So right now you're just in a generic section of 640, but next week you'll be placed in your actual section of 650. Professor Ernst explained that this course is a course that spans 3 modules. However, because we can't actually set up a course in the system that spans 3 modules, this part that you're taking this fall will show up on your schedule and on your transcript as a 0 credit pass-fail course just for the fall. And then the full 4.5 credit course will be in the spring semester. The grade is just 1 grade for the whole course, and that will be assigned in the spring. So your fall course will show as in progress until you complete the full global, and then you'll be assigned 1 grade, and the fall course will then show a grade of pass, assuming that you all pass. If you have any questions about this, you can speak to your advisor, but these are all courses that we will register you for, and you'll see this change probably take place on Tuesday next week. So you'll be assigned your project on Monday, and probably on Tuesday you'll see that placeholder course disappear, and you'll see that your actual course show up for the fall. And then as we complete all of your core registration in the spring, you'll see that show up for your spring schedules as well prior to your bidding for elective courses. All right. Let me just quickly show you the survey so you know what to expect. Okay, so you'll get an email that will say GBE Project Selection Survey, and there will be a unique link for you. So the first page here, like I said, you'll see your name and email address there. If you don't complete the survey, speak to your advisor or one of us, and we can resend it to you so that you have the appropriate link that's attached to your information. This is the project listing page. So you'll see on the left-hand side, all the projects are listed. It's a pretty easy survey process. You just drag your 6 projects onto the right. Once you have them over here, you can drag them up and down to rank them. Once you're all set with your 6 projects, you continue to the next page. It will not allow you to submit with fewer than 6 projects, and it will not allow you to submit with more than 6 projects. And here you can provide us with any additional information that you'd like. As I said, you don't have to put anything in this window. And whatever you do put in this window, keep it short. And then you can submit. And you're all set. Does anyone have any questions about the project selection process or registration that I can answer for you? Yeah.
You mentioned career interest. Are you evaluating our CVs as part of this, or is it strictly just the rankings?
We do have other data that we're considering. The rankings is the main factor that we're using. It's really the biggest piece of information that we're using. We do have other information that we'll look at if we need to in terms of composing teams, or in cases where we have sort of more students interested in a project than we have space for. Yeah, so we have all that information. Any other questions? Okay, then I'm going to turn it back over to Professor Ernst.
What we would like to show you next is a project. So you get an idea of the scope of a project from beginning to end. This is one of the projects that was done in South Africa. So you will see how the involvement of the team with the client and what was the nature of the things that they will be doing. It's not exactly the same, but it gives you an idea of what the scope of how this project works.
In July of 2013, 3 Georgetown students formed the Georgetown Waste Not Initiative. The initiative was launched in the Langa Township, Cape Town, South Africa on 15 August 2013.
So we're very excited to be here in Cape Town, specifically at the Langa Township. We started the Georgetown Waste Not Initiative specifically to encourage entrepreneurship within local townships all over the world. When we came here, we had a mission, and which was to empower the community and get people to come together for one specific common goal.
The purpose of the project is to encourage entrepreneurship in Langa Township. Our team, with the help of our sponsors, will focus on an educational workshop. In addition, we'll also open up a recycling innovation center for the residents to sell their goods.
The Georgetown Waste Not Initiative, founded by Sherian Thomas, Tim Powers, and Ted Fay, links poverty-prone areas to manufacturers in close proximity to one another. We believe in collaboration, bringing together communities, businesses, universities, local entrepreneurs, and the necessary key players to create a sustainable business.
So SAPI is incredibly privileged to be part of this project that the Georgetown University Waste Not Initiative presented to our senior management some months ago. And as a company, we have taken to it in that we are really excited about the opportunities it presents. The collaboration between ourselves and Georgetown Waste Not has been incredible. And further to that, we've seen tremendous benefit from other role players in the sector for the first time in South Africa. Companies like Petco and the Glass Recycling Company, as well as KNC Waste, have all stood together and held hands to come up with a winning formula which we think will take township recycling to new heights moving forward.
This initiative was sponsored by several key players: Georgetown University, SAPI, SAPI Refiber, Petco, the Glass Recycling Company, Prasa, and KNC Waste. To collaborate with these local companies.
Well, as you can imagine, the movie goes on and on and on and on. But we wanted actually, if you all want to see it, you have it available. It's in the webpage. But this gives you a flavor, taste of the type of projects that we're doing and the level of interaction that you guys will be having with the locals, with the local clients, as we call them, in each one of the countries. So at this point, that's the entire story of what we have for you. We hope that you enjoy and share the enthusiasm, and then we want to open the floor for any type of questions that you might have regarding the process. Yeah. Yes. The question is a sense of how big the groups are. Faculty members, in conversations with the different projects, we predefine the groups. So some groups can be 5, some groups can be 6 So most of them have a max of 6, and some of them, by definition, have a 5, depending on, sometimes the client is the one that decides the size of the. We try to match them by capacity, but yeah, 5 or 6. Questions? What's that? The number of participants, what is the maximum number? No, I don't know. Are we going to release? No. Why? Are you going to play some kind of gambling here? Let's go to Vegas, man. We can do better. No, we're not going to release that up front. Yes? The question is, how are the leaders assigned? The leaders are assigned per country, not per project type. However, in Mod 4, the leaders, which might not necessarily be the same faculty leaders that were with you in Mod 2 and 3, those are going to be by topic, by cluster of knowledge. But from Mod 2 and 3, the faculty leaders are according to country, not according to cluster of knowledge. Oh, yeah. I mean, actually, most of the sections have a second faculty member being the leader. So we are just introducing the main leaders, but like in all the sections have a second faculty leader working there. Yes? Let's ask the logistics people. Is it possible to do a one-to-one exchange? If I want to go to Johannesburg and you want to go to India, and then we say, Catherine, you go one-to-one exchange.
Technically, you could. However, we assigned you to a project according to what you told us you wanted to work on. So, not going to be the best time. For the sake of illustration, if you find later on somebody that wants to do that specific project, you can swap one-on-one. However, we cannot guarantee it's going to be a good match.
We'll try. We'll try not to. Yeah. What about question related to expenses during the traveling?
Just because nobody can understand what I say. Expenses during the travel. All of the sections have 3 covered dinners. We have an opening, we have a closing, and we have a client in the middle. We don't have a specific date, but we have 3 covered dinners. And then each group will have a budget of $350. And we'll talk about logistics once you are assigned in a team. The $350, for the ones of you that are laughing, are not to cover your expenses, are to cover things like printing or calling cards if you don't want to use Skype, or if you want to send something in advance to your client, or if you need to buy a subscription to a database to do your project. But those are not lunches or money that you're going to have to send us to bring back, actually, to the program office all of the receipts to show us what was that money spent on. So travel is, the actual ticket is on you, and the accommodation, we cover the 7 nights of hotel with breakfast included and internet for all of the sections, no matter when. The reason that we're going to Abu Dhabi a day before is because in the Arab countries, actually Sunday is Monday. So that's why you travel a day before. Okay, if we were going to Israel, that was going to be the same case. In some countries, we start 1 day before. You can use the $350 for the team for that. You're going to use a taxi. Sometimes the company is very near. You can walk. But that's what that petty cash is for, printing and taxes. The percentage of students that got the first choice.
70%. It was about 70% last year.
What was the question?
A little bit higher.
Okay, anything else? Any other questions? No more questions? Yeah. Two Latin students or three Latin students? Do you have anything
We
against
do.
Latin students? Why do you pick on Latins? You know, how many Latins are here? Just to get a count of hands. I mean, they're picking on Latins. I wonder why. That's the problem with Latins. You know, we think that the world is around us. You know. Yeah. So what were you saying? A team of 3 Latins or 2 Latins? A team of 2 Latins is like a team of 9 Americans. Is that what you're saying? This profiling is no good, you know. They're taping this. NSA is taping in addition to Georgetown. I don't know why I'm talking so much, but go ahead.
So, well, I understand your question. So we
Thank God. Thank God. There is a God there, I'm telling you.
So we will, as I said, our goals in putting together the teams are your interests, academically and in career interests, but also putting together a team that best represents Georgetown. So we will primarily use the ranking data. I mean, that is we're really trying to use the ranking data where we need to, particularly in cases where we have a significantly oversubscribed project. We will use other data sources that we have to try and put together diverse teams and teams that have the skill sets that we need to complete the projects. You know, there's no, you know, it's not a computer algorithm. It's the way we've composed teams for other residencies and things like that you've been on. But we will try to use your ranking data above all.
How many what?
Okay, so
How
you're...
many students per room? 25.
I
You know,
heard.
we got a special discount.
I heard.
We are so convinced that you want to bond together.
Okay.
That in every country we have 2 rooms because it's 46 per country, so 23 and 23. That's the idea, to get real, true bonding.
We're going to talk about all this once you're assigned in teams, but we're going to at some point ask you who would you rather share the room with, and you have about 24 hours when we're going to put another survey that you're going to have the opportunity to tell us who would you want to share your room with. If you don't tell us anything, when we close the survey, we'll assign you eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah, but it's going to be mini, mini, miny, mo, but it's two per room, no?
Yeah, it's going to be eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and both people of the same sex in the same room, okay? If there are uneven numbers of pairs in a particular country, then somebody's going to be lucky and have a room for them, just for themselves, okay? But we won't know that until we open the survey and we put you in teams. But by next week, we will know, and once you are assigned into a country and into the projects and you know to what country you're going, then we will tell you exactly who you're going to be sharing the room with. Visas. I heard somebody say something about visas. Most of the countries you're going, unless you're going to Lima and you're Argentine or Peruvian or Brazilian, you will need a visa. And we will post all the information about visas in OrgSync. Now it's a little bit early to get a visa, so I'd say that by when you come back in Mod 3, as soon as you come back, you can get working on your visa. We're going to give you, in some cases, you will need a letter from us that tells that you are working with a project from Georgetown. In most of the cases, we're going to ask you not to mention Georgetown and just to apply to a tourist visa. Okay, because especially if you're assigned to a project in India, you just say that you're a tourist and you're very happy to go see the gates of India. That's all you're going to do. Okay. But we will give you all of your reservations of the hotel, because in all the cases you will have to show that you have where to stay.
Any other questions? That's it? No more
Okay,
questions?
so as Professor Ernst put one slide, and he read it 2 or 3 times, that your 90% presentation, there's a specific time when you're going to have to present it to your team leaders. So you should not plan on traveling before February 28th. Unless you're going to Abu Dhabi, then you will have to travel on February 28th. But do not plan on leaving a week before, because we are not going to allow, or the program office is not going to allow you to reschedule final exams. We've done this for many years, as Professor Ernst mentioned, so we know all the tricks. So it's not going to work. None of the professors of the electives are going to let you give the exam because your grandma is sick and you have to go all the way to I don't know where and to go to Global earlier. So please do not plan on traveling before February 28th. Most of the check-ins in the hotel are by noon, and by 3, and the checkouts are by noon. And all of that information, which hotel, where the hotel is, what kind of breakfast you're going to have, if you have an allergy, all of that comes after we know in which project you're going to be participating.
Okay, any other questions? If you have no more questions, so thank you. Let's give ourselves and yourself a round of applause, and thank you so much.